Hey, hi. Welcome back to an episode with the guys book club in the voice like a book club. Yeah. And today, guys, we're an extremely special episode because today, guys, we're on episode number 335, guys. 335 episode. Every day I get excited about these numbers, but 335. And today, guys, now we started the podcast, and I think that we can make it even better. So let's share your screen. This is how you see the back scene of how I'm doing my thing. And I think that we can change. I think that yellow will be more. That's savage. JPEG. Save. Yes, you want to change. Yeah, this picture. Stop sharing and let's see if we make it right. Damn, yeah. It's look much better. Recording in progress. So guys, if you're new to the channel, wait, again. You guys, let's start from the beginning. Hi, welcome back to a new episode of the greatest book club in the world, like a book club. Yeah. And today, guys, we're an extremely special episode because today, guys, we're on episode number 335, guys. Damn, so many episodes, and I'm really proud of myself that I'm that I'm achieving this goal. And I'm really proud of you guys for supporting me during the process. We are one. Because if you're new to the channel, welcome, and don't forget the premium of the channel. Welcome back. My name is Zach, and I'm the host. And on this podcast, guys, we're working together on speaking together. And don't forget to stand in front of the camera, to stand in front of the camera, and then to communicate well from the camera. I'm doing so because I truly believe that English is the number one tool that each one of us must acquire in order to be successful in life. And the second tool that is going to help us a lot is to know how to communicate well from the camera. And if you take those two skills and you can combine them together, guys, you can create content to the internet and you can influence billions of people all around the world. So and now I'm just look at the mic and I can see the next post that I think that I'm going to upload to Facebook or something. You see the mic, you see the camera to take a picture of the laptop and to just, let's see. So the picture, we take it. If you can see it, I think I'm going to upload it to my Facebook, my Instagram, and write in caption. Do you see the opportunity here? Do you see? Can you guess the opportunity? Let's see what if we do it like this. And to see what is a better picture. I think I love this one. I think that I'm going to put it on the Instagram and said, "This is the millions behind this mic, and you see it." And this is what I think it's going to sound like this because, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you see my hair, I lose my hair, but anyway, like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, when every time that he was, I don't remember the exact quote, but he said something like this: that each time that he looked at the mirror, he didn't see himself on himself, I see the millions and millions of people that are waiting, that are waiting for the motivation and for him to be him. And I think it's the same thing, guys, because when I'm putting myself in front of the mic and I telling my truth and my wisdom, my own wisdom, and documenting myself, I truly believe that I can make a difference in someone in the world. And I know that right now, as you can see over here, the guys account today is 28 on March 2022, and we got 2 subscribers of the channel, 417 total views of the channel, in 322 episodes. This is the current episode of today. And you see, you can think that the numbers are not so high, but I don't see the numbers. I see me practicing, me improving myself each day, because I know, I'm truly believing it, that one day my opportunity will rise. And it's not a matter of if it will arrive, but it's when my opportunity will arrive. And I'm 100% sure that if I'm continue to put the work that I'm putting, and of course I need to improve on my motivation channel, but I think it's improving, and I keep 1%, I don't know if each day, but it's always on my mind. My mission in life to become the greatest motivational content creator of all times. And this is not practicing, guys, just practice. You put in the work day in, day out, every day you're showing up, 5 episodes per week. And that's it, guys. So I think that I'm going to put a picture, and I said, what do you see? I see, I think I'm going to write, I see the millions of people that are just waiting for me to be me. What do you see in this picture? The opportunity. What is opportunity? And guys, I think that you can see it in each thing. For me, it's media. I'm 100% believe in media and social media. To tell the truth and to influence the people doing this platform. I don't know why, but why this, I think this is my mission, but I just know that this is my mission. Used to use social media, to use tools like the podcasting, like everything, to motivate people and to inspire people and to make a difference because of Azir. And I'm totally believing it. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. That's it, guys. That's it. So let's continue. So guys, today, guys, we got this. And for my goal from this podcast, and on this podcast, guys, I'm sharing with you guys. I said to speak in English, and my goal from this podcast is again. And if you take the 2 skills, you can combine them. You can get to the internet. You can find videos of people all around the world using English and communication skill on the camera. And I hope that by sharing with you guys my own journey, my ups and downs, my failures, my success, my obstacles, the obstacles that I'm facing during the process of podcasting myself, from uploading and from sharing 5 extremely exciting episodes per week. I overcome them, what I learned from them, know the process, and inspire the people like you, the ladies and gentlemen that are watching the podcast, maybe like you, to also do the same, to work on stuff, and to make your dream come true, and to become great person, guys, and just influence the people around the world. And that's it, guys. Just that's it. I was doing inspiring, guys. And today, guys, you see, we got this lucky fish. It's a goldfish, kind of mechanical goldfish autonomy. And I have in my house goldfish. This is called telescope because it's a big eye. If this fish had a normal eyes, it's called I think it's a schleier because it's a fat, and I think it's a double tail. It's a schleier. If not, it's a goldfish. But anyway, guys, if you want to check in my house, I have a pool in the garden where I have a goldfish, and I have a big aquarium, another one in the garden. Also, if you're a goldfish, I really love goldfish. And if you want to check out this great autonomic goldfish, where you can find him on 3, 2, 1, kabam! You can find him on Good Fun, and this great account upload to Good Fun Bananas on Zen with Mulia on 7th December 2018. And of course, guys, if you like the picture, because it's a nice cool picture, and if you want to show our gratitude to the person, to the artist who made this great account, and guys, if you want to do the picture, just you need, and guys, this picture, great picture, download already 271 times. So yeah, and guys, if you want to download the picture, just need to choose the resolution from here, press download, right click on the picture, go to Shmirat Mashem in Hebrew, say pictures in English, and type down and comment below, write it in your own language, and always we need to guess from where all around the world is going to be a really nice game. Personate. choose very much to save it on a computer, press save, and comment just like that. You will get this grand account on the computer. So thank you very much for the audience who made this grand account, who made this grand account. Thank you very much for with me, Muria, for sharing this great account with us. And today, guys, we continue our journey with Influence the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert B. Cialdini. I just love the book, guys. I learned so much from each episode about persuasion, how it works, and how we can protect ourselves from when someone is using this technique on us, or we can be aware of it. We need to be aware of it, and we need to be aware and not to fall into it. And I think that by learning this stuff, we can influence other people. We can use it for good benefit, not to scam people, but if you sell something, it's fine. It's a fun game. Yeah. And guys, if you want to check out this account, or if you want to check out the book and Robert Cialdini social media account, you can the link in the description below, so make sure to check them out, like them, and learn from them. And guys, if anyone of you have any suggestion for me myself on the podcast, excuse me, or if anyone of you want to come to the podcast, guys, to the podcast, show myself the word, inspire the word, recommend on books, and never get time if you in English, because I'm a really nice guy in English. Please me to know the comment below so we can arrange it. And guys, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to share with us your own wisdom. Maybe you learn something from me, or from the book, or maybe you learn your life lesson from somewhere else. You're more than welcome to share with us. And guys, please do it. Share with us your wisdom in the comment section below, so all the community can improve ourselves and enrich our life thanks to your wisdom, guys. So thank you very much. And by the way, if you want, you got my motivation channels in the motivation social media accounts in the description below. AK Motivation, Jan King Show, the TikTok and the Instagram. So make sure to follow them and inspire your day with them. And guys, one last thing before we move to the book: if you enjoyed the process, if you're in love with the video, if you find it interesting, and if you learned something new from the channel, please consider to share your gratitude by liking the video, sharing with friends, subscribe to the channel, and put the notification bell so you'll be notified on each of the extremely exciting episodes on YouTube. And there's going to be 5 extremely exciting episodes per week. So make sure to check them out and like the video. And guys, just you see the so I just tell you what I'm hearing right now. So the song that I'm hearing right now, it's a Bedaban X Jai Cortez, The Kitty. This is the song, and it's much nicer to hear music during the process. I don't share it with you guys because I think it's a problem with copyright. But yeah, just check it. You got the link in the description below, so enjoy yourself. And guys, now before any more introduction, let's just dive right into the book and to the moment that we are all been waiting for. Let's just dive in. It's time that this is the moment that we all been waiting for. Let's just dive right into the book. So Influence the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert B. Cialdini. Read by the page 43 to 47, and the book is 33-37. Read with me to the legend of the man. Mr. John, please. Mr. John, please. Mr. John, please. It's your boy. Hey, yeah. So let's go. Let's go. Sorry. Despite the obvious concern of the above reasons, the expensive Chelsea, pointless and potentially calamitous proposal of a man whose judgment was known to be questionable was approved. How could it be that intelligent men of the attainment of Mitchell and Magruder will do something so very, very foolish? Perhaps the answer lies in a little discussed fact. The $250,000 plan they approved was not Liddy's first proposal. In fact, it represented a significant concession on his part from 2 earlier proposals of immense proportions. The first of those plans, made 2 months earlier in a meeting with Mitchell, McGregor, and John Dean, described a $1 million program that included, in addition to the mugging of the Watergate, especially equipped communication is the chess plan, break-ins, kidnapping, and mugging squads, and the act featuring high-class call girls to blackmail Democratic politicians. A second ready plan presented a week later to the same group of Mitchell, Mag, Wooder, and Dean eliminated some of the program and reduced the cost to 50 to 5,000 to $500,000. It was only after those initial proposals has been rejected by Mitchell the 3D submit is barebone the $250,000 plan. In this instance, to Mitchell, Magruder, and Frederick Longo. This time the plan still stupid, but less so than the previous one. Was approved. Could it be that I, a long-time pasty, and John Mitchell, a ardent and canny politician, might both have been so easily maneuvered into bad deals by the same compliance tactic? I by a Boy Scout selling candy, and D by a man selling political disaster. If you examine the testimony of Jeb Magruder, considered by most Watergate investigators to provide the most faithful account of the crucial meeting at which Liddy's plan was finally accepted, there are some instructive clues. First, Magruder reports that no one was particularly overwhelmed with the project, but after starting the grandiose sum of $1 million, we thought that probably $250,000 would be an acceptable figure. We were reluctant to send him away with nothing. Mitchell caught up in the feeling that we should leave Didi a little something. Signed off on it in the sense of saying, okay, let's give him $250,000 and let's see what he can come up with. In the context of Liddy's initial extreme request, it seems that $250,000 had come to be a little something to be left as a return concession. With the clarity afforded by insight, Magruder has recalled Liddy's approach in as succinct and an illustration of the rejection as a retreat techniques as I have ever heard. If he had come to us as outset and said, I have a plan to burglarize and wiretap Lenny O'Brien office, we might have rejected the idea out of hand. Instead, he came to us with his elaborate call girl, kidnapping, mugging, sabotage, wiretapping scheme. He had asked for the wall off when he was quite content to settle for even a quarter. It is also instructive that, although he finally deferred to his boss's decision, only one member of the group, Frederick Kellerum, expressed any direct opposition to the proposal, saying with obvious common sense, I don't think it's worth the risk. He must have wondered why his colleagues Mitchell and Magruder did not share his perspective. Of course, there could be many differences between LaRue and the other two men that might have accounted for the differing opinions regarding the visibility of Fried's plan. But one stands out. Of the three, only LaRue had not been present at the prior two meetings. Verlidi had outlined these much more ambitious programs. Perhaps then, only LaRue was able to see the field proposal for the clunker that it was and to react to it objectively, uninfluenced by the reciprocity and the perceptual contrast forces acting upon the others. A bit earlier, we said that the rejection then retreat technique said, in addition to the reciprocity rule, a pair of other factors working in its favor. We have already discussed the first of those factors, the perceptual contrast principle. The additional advantage of the techniques is not really a psychological principle, as in the case of the other two factors. It is more of a purely structural feature of the request sequence. Let's once again say that I wish to borrow $5 from you. By beginning with a $10 request, I really can't lose. If you agree to it, I will have gotten twice the amount from you I would have settled for. If, on the other hand, you turn down my initial request, I can retreat to the $5 favor that I desired from the outset, and through the action of the reciprocity and the contrast principles, greatly enhance my likelihood of success. Either way, I benefit. It's a case of heads, I win. Tails, you lose. It's a case of heads, I win. Tails, you lose. Think about it. The clearest utilization of this aspect of the larger than a smaller request sequence occurs in the retail store. Sells the practice of talking is the top of the line. Talking is the top of the line. Here the prospect is invariably shown the deluxe model first. If the customer buys, there is frosting on the store's cake. However, if the customer declines, the salesperson effectively counter offers with a more reasonably priced model. Some proof of the effectiveness of this procedure comes from a report in Sales Management magazine, printed without comment in Consumer Reports. Quote, if you are a billiard table dealer, which would you advertise? The $329 model or the $3,000 model? The chances are you will promote the low priced item and hope to trade the customer up when it comes to buy. But G. Vaughan Kelly, new business promotion manager at Brunswick, says you could be wrong. To prove his point, Kelly has actual sales figures from a representative store. During the first week, customers were shown the low end of the line, and then encouraged to consider more expensive models, the traditional trading up approach. The average table sale that week was $550. However, during the second week, customers were led instantly to a $3,000 table, regardless of what they wanted to see, and then allowed to shop the rest of the line in declining order of pricing and quality. The result of selling down was an average sale of over $1,000. Damn. Given the remarkable effectiveness of the rejection is a retreat technique, one might think that there could be a substantial disadvantage as well. The victims of the strategy might resent having been concerned into compliance. The resentment could show itself in a couple of ways. First, the victim might decide not to live up to the verbal agreement made with the requester. Second, the victim might come to distrust the manipulative requester, deciding never to deal with him again. If either or both of those events occurred with any frequency, A requester would want to give serious second thought to the use of the rejection then retreat procedure. Research indicates, however, that those victim reactions do not occur with increased frequency when the rejection then retreat technique is used. Somewhat astonishingly, it appears that they actually occur less frequently. Before trying to understand why this is the case, let's first look at the evidence. A study published in Canada throws light on the question of whatever a victim of the rejection then retreat tactic will follow through with the agreement to perform the requester's second favor. In addition to recording whatever target person said yes or no to the desired request, to work for 2 unpaid hours one day in a community mental health agency. This was the request. This experiment also recorded whether they showed up to perform the duties as promised. As usual, the procedure of starting with a large request to volunteer for 2 hours of work per week in the agency for at least 2 years, produces a more verbal agreement to the smaller retreat for the smaller retreat request, 76%. Then did the procedure of asking for the smaller request alone, 29%. The important result, though, concerns the show-up rate of those who volunteered. And again, the rejection the retreat procedure was the more effective one, 85% with 50%. A different experiment examined whether the rejection and retreat sequence caused victims to feel so manipulated that they would refuse any further request. In this study, the targets were college students who were each asked to give a pint of blood as part of the annual campus blood drive. One group of targets was first asked to give a pint of blood every 6 weeks for a minimum of 3 years. The other targets were asked only to give the single pint of blood. Those of both groups who agreed to give a pint of blood and who later appeared at the blood center were then asked if they would be willing to give their phone numbers so they could be called upon to donate again in the future. Nearly all the students who were about to give a pint of blood as a result of the rejection then retreat technique agreed to donate again later, 84%. While less than half of the other students who appeared at the blood center did so, 43%. Even for future favors, the rejection then retreat strategy proved superior. Strangely enough, then, it seems that the rejection then retreat tactic spurs people not only to agree to a desired request, but actually to carry out the request and, finally, to volunteer to perform further requests. What could there be about the technique that makes people who have been duped into compliance so build their degree likely to continue to comply? For an answer, you might look at the requesters. You might look at the requesters act of concession, which is the art of the procedure. We have already seen that as long as it is not viewed to be a transparent trick, the concession will likely stimulate a return concession. But what we have not yet examined is a little known pair of positive by positive. But what we have not yet examined is a little known pair of positive by products of the act of concession. Feelings of greater responsibility for and satisfaction with the arrangement. It is this set of sweet side effects that enables the technique to move its victims to fulfill the agreements and to engage in further such agreements. The desirable side effects of making a concession during an interaction with another person are nicely shown in studies of the way people bargain with each other. One experiment conducted by social psychologists at UCLA offers an especially apt demonstration. A subject in that study faced a negotiation opponent and was told to bargain with the opponent concerning how to divide between themselves a certain amount of money provided by the experiments. The subject was also informed that if no mutual agreement could be reached after a certain period of bargaining, no one would get any money. Unknown to the subject, the opponent was really an experimental assistant who had been previously instructed to bargain with the subject in one of three ways. With some of the subjects, the opponent made an extreme fierce demand, assigning virtually all of the money to himself, and stubbornly persisted in that demand throughout the negotiations. With another group of subjects, the opponent began with a demand that was moderately favorable to himself. He, too, steadfastly refused to move from that position during the negotiations. With a third group, the opponent began with the extreme demand, and then gradually retreated to the more moderate one during the course of the bargaining. There were three important findings in this experiment that help us to understand why the rejections and retreat techniques is so effective. First, compared to the two other approaches, the strategy of starting with an extreme demand and then retreating to the more moderate one produced the most money for the person using it. But this result is not very surprising in light of the previous evidence we have seen of the power of larger than smaller request tactics to bring about profitable agreements. It is the two additional findings of the study that are more striking. Responsibility. Title: Responsibility. Those subjects facing the opponent who used the retreating strategy felt more responsible for the final deal, much more than the subjects who faced a non-challenging negotiation opponent. Those subjects reported that they had successfully influenced the opponent to take less money for himself. Of course, we know that they hadn't done any such thing. The experimenter had instructed the opponent to retreat gradually. The experimenter had instructed the opponent to retreat gradually from his initial demand, no matter what the subjects did. But it appeared to those subjects that they had made the opponent change, that they had produced his concessions. The result was that they felt more responsible for the final outcome of the negotiations. It does not require much of a leap from this finding to clarify the previous mystery of why the rejection and then threat of why the rejection is a retreat technique causes its targets to live up to their agreements with such outstanding frequency. The requester's concession within the technique not only cause the targets to say yes more often, it also causes them to feel more responsible for having dictated the final agreement. Thus, the uncanny ability of the rejection then retreat technique to make its targets meet their commitments becomes understandable. A person who feels responsible for the terms of a contract will be more likely to live up to that contract. Title: Satisfaction. Even though on the average, they gave the most money to the opponent who used the concession as a strategy. The subjects who were the targets of this strategy were the most satisfied with the final agreement, with the final arrangement. It appears that an agreement that has been forged through the concessions of one's opponent is quite satisfying. With this in mind, we can begin to explain the second previously puzzling feature of the rejection and retreat tactic: the ability to prompt its victims to agree to further requests. Since the tactic uses a concession to bring about compliance, the victim is likely to feel more satisfied with the arrangement as a result. And it stands to reason that people who are satisfied with a given arrangement are more likely to be willing to agree to further such arrangements. Guys, guess what? This is the end of the episode. So yeah, let's go. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate the fact that you choose to invest your time for me. And I can't wait to Sunday to start a new title. It said how to say no. So guys, thank you very much for joining me, and I can't wait to see you all tomorrow on Sunday episode. And I really hope that you learn something new from the channel. So that time you know about from the channel. Until Sunday, guys, have a great time. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the beach shorty time. And bye-bye. There's the sun looking really nice. So guys, today it's Monday, 28th on March 2022. Time now is 17:15. Now I'm 15 minutes late for the class, but this is when I have the time to record it. I need to use it. And I really enjoy the process and take the picture. יאללה חברים, יום שני 28/3/2022 בשעה אחרי 5:15 בצהריים. יאללה, עכשיו נעשה מנחה ואחרי זה נלך לפגישת ישיבת ראשון שלנו עם חיה, הערכת התחדשה שלנו. שום בחודשיים וחצי למועדונים. אז יאללה, ניתן בראש, נסיים כבר בכבוד, ושנה הבאה נקבל לקבל את העבודה במדיה. יאללה, ניהול רשתות של האגודה, להתראות.